delete this. Alright, then we're going to be using YouTube banner. So come to image size, you click on this YouTube banner, then say okay. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing here is, as you can see here, is actually used for you to identify your first background, default background that are found in pixellab. But we don't mostly use some of these things except you want to make use of the white, that is normal color, and you see it will actually remove what you're doing. So nevertheless, let's, and here is where your project are stored in graphics design, like in pixellab. So as you can see, these are the work I've done for this month so far. You can see that there is a whole lot here. So this what we use this for. Okay, good. So you come over here, is texture. This is your texture. You can increase, and let's just use juice. Let's use Mighty Man. Alright, Mighty Man. Let's go with this. Alright, so say okay. So let's see. Under texture, we have style, but we don't mostly use that style because it's not that important. We make use of texture, as I've earlier explained. This is where you can actually pick your right up and right, you delay it, and you come over to copy. You can copy this text so how many places you want it, but for the case of design we'll be using one only. You come back, then you can see move to front, move to back. This move to front is when your design, for example, now you have a whole lot of design and there is a shape covering your right up. You now want to move the right up to the front of that shape. You now click, you come over to here, sorry, you come over to here, and you click on the shape, the text, and you will now say bring to front, to now bring the text to front, while the shape will be behind the text. You can actually say send to back. And the next thing here is position. You can actually use this to position your work, but we don't mostly use them except when you're working on alignment. And this one is relative position. Use it to center your work. You can send it to the side, to down, to the other side, up, and this center. Listen it. So we use our size. You can actually increase your size from here, or use your hand and increase it as well. So that's that for that. And padding. Padding is used to, have you seen this? We'll be making use of padding maybe later in use of this design. But for now, padding, you can use your padding and you use left padding, right padding. You don't come on about this. Talk about color as well. You can actually input any color you want. Gradients under color is two combinations of color. So you use your plus. This first one, you click on, sorry, the first one plus, you click on color here, and you can select any color. Let's use red. Let's use red, thick red. Okay, good. And here, come over to the other side. You click back the color, and you use blue. Let's use light blue. Alright, this nice. So alright, have you seen it? So this is what color is used for. And you move over to your texture. You can actually add your, in case you don't want to use the color in your pixel app, you can actually look for any background. You now crop out the color and use it for your design. For example, now let's take something from here and let's use it. For example, I want to make use of this color here. I'll just crop the one I want to make use of. I'll crop it, and we are good to go. Have you seen it? Wow, this is nice, this is nice, this is nice. And okay, you can you use it to enable it, work on it, and let's leave it like this. And you can increase the scale, and this and okay. So next thing here is opacity. So you can reduce your opacity. No one will see what you're writing, or you don't want people to see it much. You will just reduce it a little. This is what we use here. Alright. So we come over to rotate. You can actually rotate this text to any point, like anyhow. If minus 360, anyhow you want to reduce it, you use this. but I'm not going to use that for now. Then marks, you can use this one to mark your text, any space you don't want them to see. For example, now I don't want them to see this part. I've marked it. You will not see it complete again. Alright, we'll talk about the font. You can actually use font from here. You click on any of these font that is here, you're using them to design. And then your style, maybe you bold or want it to be Italy, use it here. If you want it to be underlined, you use it here. Alright, and we'll come over to curve. If you want to curve your design, have you seen, but we are not curving this design, then you come over to background. You enable in case you want to use background in the text. Remember, the reason why you're seeing that the right hand side is actually very much is because we padded it to the right hand, but we are not using that. Then we have alignment. Use center alignment, side alignment, or this alignment. That is when your texture are actually many. Then we will now use spacing as well. When you talk about spacing, you use it to space your design. You don't want your design all of them to be close. You don't want them to be close. Then you now reduce your this thing. So for now, you're not using this place. Then we are using line spacing as well. Line spacing is actually used when we're talking about the line spacing is when we're actually using much design, please. Alright, then we use our stroke. Stroke, you want to add another color to your existing design already. Now so okay, you enable this. When you enable this, see that there is something that is added to the body of the text. So that's black. For that, you can increase it and you can actually reduce it to your text, to your, let's say, to your liking. Alright, so we'll move next. We are seeing shadow. You want to add shadow to your text, you enable it. When you enable it, have you seen it? So I don't need to really dwell much on that. Thank you. And we're actually talking about inner shadow as well. Inner shadow is the shadow is going to be inside the text, not outside. If you notice very well, you will see that. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Yeah. So that's that for that. And we'll come over to boards. This one is actually very. This one is when you're trying to use 3D text. So it's 3D text actually. It does not actually work in every font. It depends on the kind of font and the size of the text. Then your 3D rotation, 3D text, as I've explained already, reflection and 3D shadows. Come over to here. Here is not actually talking about it's not talking about the shape, it's talking about the background. And maybe you want to import, for example, this sticker in case you want to add sticker to this design 100, this sticker for this, you want to delete, you can delete it. You now say import. If you want to import the background you will be using for the design, let me check. Let's use this. Oh, you say um, let's use this. Okay, good. You can now enlarge it. Send to back. This the time we will now use this send to back. Say send to back. Have you seen it? So you can now come over here and lock your background, but I'm not locking it because we're going to be making use of it. So you can crop it. I've used it already. You can copy this background. Sorry, you can copy this background. This is a copied background. So we are not using that. And you can send to front this background. You can send to back this background. That's the use of send to front and send to back. You can use this and position this background. Have you seen? You can use it and position this background. Okay, and you can use this to centralize in case the design is not, the background is not set all right. You can use that to control it as well and set it in a good state. Then this, you use this for reducing the size. I've used earlier. You reduce the size and increase it. All right, good. You come to okay. You come to relative size. That's what we just did. You come to color. You can enable this. Come to gradients. Use this. that we are not using the other background now, but because of the font we are using, I'm not going to use that background. So what you do, come back to your color, use normal color instead of gradients. Let's use this. Wow, this is good. All right, you come over to color filter. If you want to filter your color, for example saturation, add saturation on your color or whoosh. That actually we use that when you're actually working on a given background. And come over to stroke. You use this to, you're not actually going to make use of that in this design. Stroke, adding stroke to your design, you can actually erase the part you don't want to see in your design. We are not using that. All right, let's continue. You can actually mask your background. I already told us how to mask background, and I think we'll be used to that with time. You can actually subscribe to our channel for you to see much of these things. And okay, you can erase your background, you can rotate your background to anywhere. This rotate, you rotate your background. Then 3D, as we explained earlier, we're going to make use of that because we are not working on something like that. But this one, you shadow, increase your shadow. This shadow is shadow that is sending out, that is going to be holding the background. And enable this other one. Let me just show us something. This shadow here works inside, you blur it. At least what I've done, this shadow actually work inside and inside the background, sorry. And that is that for that. And we'll come over to here. Here is actually talk about, let me delete this background. All right, so you notice that color, you can add color, you can use any color you want to. It's good. You can use transparent or not. If you don't want to use transparent, you now say okay, color. When you want, for example, when we use transparent is when you're working on a logo like somebody's brand, and you now want to save it. The person say I need my logo without background so that they can be using it, so that and it will not reduce the quality of the logo. You will now save the logo without background. That's png file. So you come over to your size, image size. You can actually reduce the size of this image. I told us earlier, I said you can use YouTube thumb, okay, something like this, and anyone. You can actually set your size 3A4, A4, 3 A4, 3A, and A3, all those things. And you come over to import. Here is your normal background in pixellab. We don't really make use of that. You can actually bring in your own background from your phone. That's from your documents. Let's make use of this now. This is good. All right. Although our text color is not actually matching with the background color, but let's just see how we run through this class. And if you want to snap, for example, you want to snap and use the background, or for example you snap the background and make use of it, that is when you use from camera. So you come over to here is actually working on your background. You're trying to add more, is just similar to inner shadow. This one is just similar to inner shadow. You can see that we are not going to be making use of that, so that let's delete that. You can rotate your background to anyhow you want it. And noise, trying to work on your background, the noise of the background. And when talking about noise in graphic design, is the color like how shouty you want your design to be, or how dim. So you actually use that to enhance your background. And strive, you want to add lines to your design, your background. That is when we make use of that, but we're not going to be making use of that now. Then that's brightness, increasing the brightness of your design, contrast. Then saturation, wood, you want them saturation. Now you want to increase the, should I say, the I want to increase the color, like you want the color to be more visible than how it is. That is when you now make use of that. And contrast, trying to dim, okay, increase the quality of your background. And whoosh, just changing the colors. You want to change the color of your background to another color, but in the same, I think you want it to look the same but in different form. That is when you make use of that. Sorry, this one. and good. And you come over to the upside. Here is for you to now undo what you've done, and come over increasing your size. And here is alignment, very important. In my next video I'm going to be showing us how to make use of alignment, and here is where our documents are. You can actually operate your documents from here and know what you're doing. I'm going to be teaching us how to make use of alignment. Alignment is very important, please take note. Then here, trying to add text, current day, sticker, shape from gallery, and draw. You want to draw something, and sorry, this call is coming in. And you're trying to save your project, save your work as project or as image. This is where you can save from. And you're trying to share your work. This is where you can share it from. If I'm not sharing now, your this quote, we have a whole lot of quotes in pixellab. You can make use of this you can make use of this, but you're not going to you're going to be making use of it in our next tutorial. And here you can increase your this thing, use image from gallery, full screen, use image from camera, export images. You're trying to save your image. If you're not conversant using the other one, you can use this one. Then image size, how you want your image. For example, now somebody say I need 3A design or I need landscape design. You will now use here to set the design. That's what we do in terms of that. And okay, we have contact us, report. So that one is we are not actually using that one because you can actually do whatever you want to do, tutorials, remove ad. That one is when you're using your data and some other things are coming into your pixel app. Recover, auto save, that's you can actually recover what you've already done. For example, now I designed something and mistakenly my phone off. What I will need to do is when my phone is now, when I'm done charging my phone, I can actually come back to this place and actually search for the work I was doing. That's one of the benefit of pixellab. And open pip file and order and exist, you can leave the app from here. So you can now say okay, are you sure you want to exist pixellab? If you want to leave pixellab, you now say okay. So do well to like and subscribe to our YouTube